Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Archway Podcast with your friendly host, Archway. Today, I am with the amazing Lorna Illustrates. I cannot believe we're doing this episode today. It's going to be so much fun. We have a lot to talk about. So first, Lorna, do you want to introduce yourself so that people know who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, my name is Lorna. I am an illustrator based in the southwest of the UK, and I am a big kind of like fandom illustrator, whimsy. I'm a bit, here, there, and everywhere, but that's a bit of me. So yeah, hello.
Hello. Okay, so the reason why we are doing this this video or this podcast episode is because me and Lorna did a very, very, very exclamation mark collaboration last Christmas, and we're going to talk about the entire process. So what was it like working on the collaboration, and have you done any collaborations before?
I mean, I think we can both say that the collaboration was amazing. I had so much fun on it. It was really reassuring for me to know that somebody else really wanted to work with me to start with, and it was really great. And like, we brought two fandoms together. It was just such a really great feeling to collaborate on something that you really enjoy and that you love. I haven't actually done many collaborations in the past. This was probably one of my first big collaborations, so thank you very much for that. But I have done a couple in the past. I did like a collaboration draw a day with my old university during lockdown, and that was a lot of fun. But other than that, it's just pretty much, doing the odd little bit of like business working here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, this is my first proper collaboration, which I'm really thankful for.
No, it's great. I think it's such an interesting process on how we did it, because of course it's very much it was interesting, but we're gonna get into that in the entire process. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So one of the things that Lorna is an Instagram illustrator or / artist, and what has been one of the main struggles you've had to deal with since being an Instagram artist, or something you have noticed that you've struggled with?
Yeah, so I think for anyone, being a digital creator of any medium online is really daunting. There's a lot of people on social media, it's really hard to kind of break the mold and kind of find your community. So I think having that patience and having that balance to be able to, find those people. It's taken me, I graduated in 2016, and so it's taken me like 10 years to actually start building like a really nice community. And I think like I had 700 followers that took me 10 years to get, and then in the last like month or so I've gained 500. So it's just about finding the right people at the right time, learning a bit of balance, and knowing that actually likes aren't everything. You can turn off your notifications, everything's fine, you're not going to miss out. But balance, it's all about balance, 100%, and patience, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a lot about patience, and definitely also about trying to not worry about the likes or the shares or the views and stuff like that, even though we're doing a whole entire podcast episode about it. But it's fine. We got past that bit. Okay, so I want you to explain to us the process of this amazing collaboration. I'm just going to give you a couple of facts before we get into this. So it has got, I'm checking yours because I can't be able to go to mine. It has got 4,705 likes. It's been commented by 19 people. It's been reshared by 115 people, and it's been shared by 179. There's almost 25,000 likes between us, which is saying, and also views. Explain the process on explain the process on how we got to this and how the collaboration came about and what you want to do it.
I think it pretty much started like we both followed each other on social media. We were admiring each other's content, like we were just fans of each other, which was great. And then you came to me and was like, I've got an idea. I was like, this sounds great. We were on a couple of Zoom calls to kind of like plan out the project, and I think we had like sketches going between us backwards and forwards, like ideas. And it just worked really well. It worked really quickly for us, I think. Like, we just had really good ideas, and we were like, yeah, this is... Normally, for me, it takes me ages to kind of find a design that I really like, but actually, I sent it to you and was like, this is it. This is the design. But we just, I mean, it was mostly just our love of the fandoms, wasn't it? You're a massive fan of Heartstopper. I was a big fan of Dan and Phil. And it was just a no-brainer that those two things come together. It works so well. And it was just great. It was absolutely brilliant. I like I said, the reasons I wanted to do it was the minute that you said it, I was like, absolutely, we have to do this. This sounds amazing. And yeah, it was just a great idea overall. So well done, Arch. Because I would have never in a million years even thought about doing that, but I'm so glad that you thought of it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we created together is fan stopper, which I absolutely love. It's a brand new word in the dictionary, not official. And that is probably going to be one of the best achievements. What have been some of your amazing achievements that you have achieved so far?
Oh, there's a few. I think a really great achievement for me, especially this year, has been I've worked with the charity Fandom Gives, which is a Dan and Phil inspired kind of charity run. So they host charity events. And so they have been doing a charity event through the whole of January in lieu of Phil's birthday for the Albert Kennedy Trust. And that is a charity that kind of supports young LGBT people with, if they're at risk of homelessness or if they're currently experiencing it, it just helps support them. So it's been for a great cause. And I think, like, I checked it today and they're on something like £7,500 raised. And they've done so well. So as part of that, I kind of contributed by creating a raffle, and then for like every £5 donation, people got an entry to my raffle. So it's been so great. I've announced the winner this week, so it's been such a great cause, and it's so heartwarming to be part of that. So it's been a massive achievement for me. Other achievements, I mean, I did a children's book. I've actually got 3 children's books published, so small flex on that side. But yeah, and I think just being, having this community and achieving the dream that I'm continuously achieving, building a community and a presence online and kind of, sharing my work with people is an achievement in itself. So yeah, 100%. There's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, so it sounds like an amazing thing to kind of like do, and there definitely been some amazing projects you've worked on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The only reason there's not only one reason we're doing this. there is something in the background that's sitting there with a cup of tea that's waiting to be talked about. You have some amazing projects coming up very, very soon. The day we are filming it today is literally 5 or 4 days until it comes out.
I think it's 4 days now, yeah. So, drum roll. I have an online shop being launched on Monday the 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning. So this will be my first online shop properly, probably in about nearly 10 years. So I'm really excited. I've gone all out. I've bought lots of stock for it. I've bought things like prints, stickers, keychains. There's going to be some pre-orders on there as well for things like enamel pins, lanyards, stuff like that I eventually want to get in. And it's obviously all Dan and Phil themed, notoriously. And yeah, it's been really exciting. I've spent like most of this month building a website and like my shop integrated into it. It's been really, really great. And I do have like a little thing that's going to be announced on the Monday, which is kind of like an extra pre-order that I've not announced to anybody yet. But I'll announce it here. I am releasing interactive tote bags. So if you're a Dan and Phil theme, if you're a Dan and Phil fan, then 100% come over and have a little look. And I'm very excited. I'm just excited to share more stuff. There's going to be more stuff beyond Dan and Phil eventually, but yeah, this is the start of it, so I'm excited.
Okay, so what has it been like seeing the standing ovation and the love for the recent collaboration? And is there anything that surprised you, or where you were like, oh my God, I might fall off my chair? Is there anything like that kind of moment?
I mean, having the notification that 10,000 people like the post that you put up nearly made me drop off of my chair. I mean, the whole thing in general has been so well received. I think we kind of just did it as we both love these things. We want to share that with the people that follow us. And all of a sudden it just grew and attracted all of these like extra people that didn't follow us. And now, you know, they've been interacting with the post. There's been so many people on there saying it really, you know, different things about how it's their favourite thing coming together, and recognising characters from another fandom, being like, oh my god, is this Dan and Phil? Oh my god, is this Nick and Charlie? And it's been so great seeing the repercussions of what we've created, and, you know, building again a nice, safe, like a lovely community of people that are just ranting and raving and loving the art that we put together. So it's been amazing.
I do feel like we have created the community of Fanstopper. We're like the mother and father of this new child.
The mother and father of Fanstopper, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Very, 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 very protected over it, and it seems like a lot of people want to adopt it. So, how do you feel about the Dan and Phil universe meeting the Heartstopper universe and creating this amazing child called Fanstopper? How does that feel?
It felt amazing. I feel like it made sense, and
yeah,
I think in the world of Heartstopper and, you know, the Dan and Phil, the fandom, that side of things, those two things just gel really well. And I know I touched on this when we spoke before about how, like, when we were thinking about how Nick and Charlie would feel about, you know, having Dan and Phil as like a presence in their world and stuff. And I'm always such a believer in the fact that Dan and Phil would be such a great representation for them, especially where like Nick struggles with his sexuality. Charlie went through school bullying, like being bullied, and it's something that Dan and Phil have, like, they've been on the internet for 16 years, Phil nearly 20. And
wow.
It's been, you know, story after story of them talking about how they've had those struggles in school, or, you know, they've had to, you know, hide a relationship, or not know what their sexuality is, coming out, stuff like that. And it's such an inspiration, I think, to people of, you know, Nick and Charlie's age, or, you know, the situations that they've been in. So in that respect, I feel like the two fandoms coming together made so much sense, and there's so much, like, a deeper meaning behind it now, I think. And it just, it's just gelled really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the bonus questions I want to ask you before we get to our final one is, you are writing an episode of Heartstopper, and one of the key components Alice has written in your brief, because we know Alice is a Dan and Phil fan, is you have to include them. How would you include them in the episode, and what would the name be?
I don't know. I don't know what the name would be, but like the name of the episode.
Yeah, the name of the episode.
That's gonna need some thought, but I do think it would be a case of, like, so Dan and Phil, if anybody isn't, like, clued up on Dan and Phil, I feel like that's going to be unlikely. But if you're not, quick rundown. They have been on the internet for a very long time, and the entire time they've been in a relationship, but only announced it last October. So they've had 16 years worth of relationship that they're now pouring out through a podcast. It's called Hard Launch. And I just feel like in my bones, Nick would find the podcast and be so in love with it. Because it's all about queer joy, celebrating, you know, being out and proud, and just having, you know, that joy and no shame and everything like that. And I feel like Nick would really appreciate that. And he would absolutely show Charlie and be like, Charlie, you need to listen to this. This is hilarious. But I don't know what the episode would be called. I have no idea. Maybe Nick and Charlie go to one of Dan and Phil's show. Who knows?
I was kind of thinking about this, because I thought about this question before, because I was kind of thinking about it today. I feel like a great way to bring them into the world, and I think you're going to go a bit ballistic because you'll want to be involved in the episode.
Get me there, Alice, you better be listening.
They go to, like, a YouTubers convention with the characters from Radio Silence, and we know that Tori does a vlog. So maybe Tori's vlog is invited to this YouTuber thing, and Tori goes, I've got 2 extra spare tickets for you. Boys, do you want to come? They go, and maybe one of the things that they go to is a live podcast recording of Dan and Phil.
Oh my god, I want to be there.
Yeah, I want to be there as well. I want to be sitting there next to you, front row. I'll put my hand up and going, did you know that we invented Fan Stopper? Just saying. Have you seen our lovely collaboration as well? I feel like that would 100% be me in that like time period and in that whole episode. And I feel like Nick would come out with all of their merch. They would come out with like 2 massive tote bags.
Yeah, like comically, like completely just carrying everything. Hats on, like 3 hoodies on.
Yeah. And Charlie has got like 1 enamel pin and he's just walking normally and Nick's got everything.
Nick's just covered.
Yeah. So on the talk of like the YouTube like convention, that's all about collaborations. Are there any future collaborations you really would like to do with like any brands, artists, stuff like that?
Ooh, I think, yeah. I mean, if you'll have me back, I will absolutely do another collaboration with you. Like, I've really enjoyed this, and I think any collaboration that I can do with creators, I've made it my kind of little goal for 2026 to collaborate and connect with more creators of any description. They don't have to be artists. Like, you know, podcasts have been amazing. This is my first podcast and I've absolutely loved it. So even things like podcasters, creators, anything, I'm just really keen to kind of collaborate more with people and kind of push outside my comfort zone. But if you're going to ask me what my dream collaboration is outside of Dan and Phil, because no brainer it would be a Dan and Phil themed thing, but it would be with Lazy Oaf. Have you ever heard of Lazy Oaf?
No. Well, who are Lazy Oaf?
Oh, Lazy Oaf are incredible. They are incredible. So they are a London-based fashion and clothing brand. And they're just really quirky. They're so a bit like, if my personality could be injected into a clothing brand, it would be Lazy Oaf. Like, it is so good. And they are, so most of it is all illustrative as well, so I'm just so keen to collaborate. One day it'll happen. If I manifest enough, it will just happen, so who knows.
I feel like a brilliant joint collaboration that I would love to do with you, especially because I think we get a lot of where each other are going, is a brilliant brand that I really, really like, and it's kind of very similar to what you were talking about with the charity and stuff like this. It's of course one of my favourite all-time brands, which is Queer Is Always Here. Which is run by Sebastian Croft, and it's an amazing brand, and they always collaborate every Pride with a different artist. And I think an amazing thing would be us two collaborating on like 2 t-shirts, a cap, and then like a jumper, and it's kind of like Fan Stopper, like exploding and just so I feel like that would be such a good kind of thing for us to do. So Seb, if you're listening, we're right here.
If not, we're going to be in your DMs after this.
I'm coming to your concert and telling you about this. So I feel like that would be such an amazing opportunity for us to both do, and I definitely see you doing like clothing brand. It definitely does work with your style, and it'll be so interesting to see what the 2 brands kind of come up with, especially. Well, sadly that's all of us what we've got today, which is really, really annoying because I'm really, really enjoying this, and I wish we could talk for ages, but we can't. So if you guys did like this and you want to follow Lorna, all of her information will be down below, and please do go and check her out on Instagram. Her Dan and Phil stuff is incredible. I have been introduced to Dan and Phil. I'm now addicted to Dan and Phil. They're turning up on my YouTube, they're turning up on my Instagram, they're turning up on my TikTok, they're turning up everywhere. But also, if you did like this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and come back for next week's video, or as I should say, next month's video. As we are in March, it's a double saga, of course, because it's my birthday and it's also Kit's birthday. And also a lot of stuff is still going on. So remember to check everyone's socials, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon on another podcast episode. See you soon. Bye. 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 Bye.